And our top focus in WION this morning. After a weekend of chaos and confusion in Russia, the Russian President Vladimir Putin addressed the nation for the second time. Putin on Monday paid tribute to the pilots who were killed during the failed weekend mutiny which took place. Putin said that from the very beginning of the event, steps were taken on his direct instructions to avoid any serious kind of bloodshed. He added that the Wagner fighters have three options. Number one, they could choose to join the Russian army or leave for Belarus. And number three, or even return to their homes. He further accused Ukraine and its Western allies of wanting Russians to kill each other during the revolt. Meanwhile, Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov in an interview also stated that the Russian intelligence services are probing whether Western spy agencies played a role in the aborted mutiny. Take a listen.
I also had several telephone conversations initiated by my foreign colleagues. A lot of them have expressed the same thoughts, solidarity, confidence in the fact that we would not allow any attempts to undermine the unity of our state, undermine the success of this special military operation, and ask not to tell about their calls publicly. That's why we are trying not to do that. We respect their request.
In the Russian media interview, Lavrov said that the U.S. Ambassador Lynn Tracy had spoken to the Russian representatives on Sunday and given signals that the U.S. was not involved in the mutiny. U.S. President Joe Biden has dismissed conspiracy theories of the Western involvement in the rebellion, saying that he coordinated with European leaders on Zoom, stating that they agreed with me that we had to make sure we give Putin no excuse to blame this on the West and to blame this on NATO as well.
Before I begin, let me say a few words about the events in Russia. Excuse, I'm a little of an allergy. The situation began to develop as it did. I directed my national security team to monitor closely and report to me hour by hour. I instructed them to prepare for a range of scenarios. I also convened our key allies on a Zoom call to make sure we're all on the same page. It's critical that we're coordinated in our response and coordinated in what we to anticipate. They agreed with me that we had to make sure we gave Putin no excuse. Let me emphasize, we gave Putin no excuse to blame this on the West or to blame this on NATO. We made clear that we were not involved.
Now, Putin, in a meeting that included Defense Minister Sergei Shoigu, the main target of the mutiny, thanked his security officials for their work during an armed rebellion. It was also the first time that Shoigu was seen in public since the rebellion, while Moscow's top general Valery Gerasimov was not seen in the footage of the meeting released by the Kremlin. Meanwhile, the Russian military bloggers report that the Wagner group shot down 6 Russian helicopters and a command and a control plane during their advance. The Kremlin was at pains to stress that there had been a return to normalcy.